If you guys like going to aquariums, then the Ancientmermaimon combined with the updated Aegisdramon deck is something you should check out. Digimon fans, welcome back, and today we'll be showcasing the updated version of the Aquatic and Fish deck. We got a couple of new support cards for this archetype since EX3, and it's certainly time for an update. The goal of this deck is to go as wide as possible by swarming the board with lots of different kinds of sea creatures, and I will show you guys how it all works later within the combo segment. But first, if you guys enjoy the Digimon content and videos on the channel, then be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell right now because it really helps and I really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to give this video a like while you're at it. And with that out of the way, let's dive right into the build we got for today. Alright, starting off with Digi-8 cards, 4 copies of the Bukamon from BT7. Your turn once per turn. When you play a Digimon from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, you get to gain a memory. The whole deck is all about that, as we know. So, being able to gain that memory back whenever we do so is always ultra value. And that's definitely the 4 eggs you only really want to run. Okay, now let's jump into our level 3s. 4 copies of Gomamon on play, and when it's specifically played from a Digivolution card, you get to draw 2 cards. Very, very simple, being able to draw 2 immediately when you meet that requirement. Like we all said, we always try to play stuff underneath our sources with this guy, so this is the guy that we want to be playing through our effects underneath a source, and by doing so, draw power is going to be super crucial and super helpful for the deck as always. Next, we have Dracomon right here, a really good on-play searcher. Whether if you on-play it normally by paying memory, or if you on-play it via an effect as well, you get to review top 3 cards of your deck, adding yourself 1 Dramon name among them to your hand. And really, there's going to be a lot of Dramons because we've got Seadramon, Aegisdramon, and all those different kind of Dramons that we can search for our top end specifically with this guy, and that's the reason why we play him inside this deck. Next, we have Crabmon here. This one is also on play, specifically giving one of your blue Digimon jamming for the rest of the turn. And if this guy is specifically played from underneath a source from a Digimon, you get to place another blue level 5 or lower Digimon from your hand underneath that particular Digimon to sort of help you cycle in back more pieces into your sources so you can always ongoing play them over and over again. Always really great with Crabmon there too. Then we got 2 copies of Penguinmon. Very similar as well. This was a newer one from BT11 on play by placing 1 blue level 3 Digimon card or 1 Digimon card with Aqua or Seadramon in its traits from your hand under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. You get to draw 1, so draw power again is what we're really looking for. And yeah, this is also a good card for sure. And then last but not least, 2 Madoki Betamons as our general staple rookie flight gate of the deck, and that's really all we have. That's it for our level 3s. Let's talk about our level 4s. 4 copies of Aegisdramon. On play, one of your blue Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. When it's played from a Digivolution card, you get to unsuspend that Digimon as well, which is very great. So you can set up really good defenses with this guy, and this is mainly the one you want to go for 100% as your main level 4 to play from sources. And then moving on, as we talk about like our new blue hybrid package, we got 4 copies of Lanamon, really great for just digivolving on top of a Tamer, of course, and doing the usual hybrid stuff. However, she does let you place more things when she's digivolving in order to give this Digimon jamming, and you can place things into any of your other Digimon when you're digivolving into her. Really, really good card. However, she doesn't meet any of the trait requirements herself, which is why only 3 copies is really all we need. But you can also do some really cool slide evolution stuff alongside with her, where we have the 4 copies of Calmaramon right here. Calmaramon can digivolve for 1 on top of Lanamon, however, otherwise you digivolve for 3 costs on top of level 3, which you rarely want to do that. But when attacking, she lets you play a level 3 Digimon card from one of your sources of your Digimon. So really, really neat as well. Great synergy for the deck. This is a aquatic one specifically, so it's going to have a lot of synergy when it comes to traits, and that basically sums up for the level 4 of what you want to be running. I'm also super excited to announce a new feature on my channel where I launched my very first ever YouTube membership called the Avault Club. By joining, you will have access to exclusive perks and contents that regular viewers don't have. Perks include the Avault Club membership badge, and the best part is that you'll be able to see members-only community posts featuring my first draft deck profiles even before the video comes out. You will see more updates by me for every deck profile release and even updated deck lists and adjustments with all the lists. Your comments and questions will also have priority replies from me. So what are you guys waiting for? Click on the join button right now. Thank you all so much for the support, and I look forward to engaging with you guys. Now let's move into our level 5s. Of course, we definitely still want to be playing the 4 copies of Mega Seadramon as your main level 5 core Digimon of the deck. When attacking, it lets you play a level 3 Digimon card from your blue Digimon's Digivolution cards for free, which is what we're always trying to go for. It has a very good inheritable as well. When attacking once per turn, you get to play a level 3 Digimon card from one of your blue Digimon sources, exactly the same as its own when attacking effect essentially, and being able to do that as much as you can is really what you're trying to go for with this card, and really important. Next, we got another special newer card right here. We got Waru Seadramon from BT11. Now, this does cost 4 to Digivolve on top of a purple or blue level 4, which is quite a bit as the level 5. However, it does have a on play and when Digivolving effect, letting you play one purple or blue level 3 Digimon card from one of either your blue or purple Digimon's Digivolution sources without paying its memory cost. Now, it has a really good inheritable. It basically is exactly the same as your Bukamon egg. The only difference is it is all turns and it's once per turn. So when you do play a Digimon by an effect, you get to gain a memory back, and you can kind of disrupt your opponent's turns, because Aegisdramon, as we know, does sometimes let you play stuff during your opponent's turn, and by doing that, you can really go really crazy with some really fun combos during your opponent's turn to disrupt their turn and disrupt their plays and sort of like counter attack as well, which is really nice. And yeah, definitely a pretty good new addition to the deck for sure. Last but not least, to round up for all the level 5s, we got one Piranhamon. Simply just has Rush. It is aquatic again, has really good trait synergy, and sometimes being able to play this guy out for free with your effects, you can immediately just use the Rush to make that extra swing to help you finish games, is always a really nice one-off tech that I like to always include for sure. That's it for level 5s. Let's talk about our level 6s. Still very familiar with the most of it, where you definitely want to be playing the 4 copies of Plesiomon here. When Digivolving, it lets you play a blue level 3 Digimon or one level 4 or lower Digimon card that has aquatic, with all that kind of aqua related traits among them, from your Digimon's Digivolution sources for free. And then you get to place one blue Digimon card from your hand under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Now, it's very important that this one can place anything. It doesn't have a level requirement, doesn't have a trait requirement as well. So you want to be placing something that is usually at your top end to really set up for that, so you can do some really cool top end plays later on. It has a inheritable as well as a level 6, because all turns once per turn. When you play a Digimon from your Digivolution sources, you get to return one of your opponent's Digimon with the exact same level that they have back to their hand as the one that you played from the sources. So really cool stuff right here, and definitely the 4 of, because it is your main boss Digimon of the deck that you want to be seeing as much as you can. Because again, we also then moving on to have the 1 copy of Metal Seadramon. Very good combo, as we showcased from our previous video before, but we're going to showcase it again this time in a combo segment. This guy specifically, you want to be placing it underneath your sources so you can play it via an effect. Really good, because on play it bounces 2 of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon back to their turn. It can't be blocked by your opponents that has no sources as well, so pretty neat. Immediately you can just bring out level 6 like that. Is always ultra value for sure, 100%. And yeah, that's why you might want to run 1 or even 2 of is actually really good. But now we got to make some space for this newer boss Digimon out here in our deck as well. We got 2 copies of Ancientmermaimon to really combine with each other. With the 5 cost or Digivolving on top of blue level 5, when Digivolving, it lets you play a blue Digimon card with hybridness traits or Aqua or Seadramon from one of your blue Digimon's Digivolution sources for free. Now, this one can basically be anything, because it doesn't have a level restriction. It just has the trait restriction when you're being played. So really cool stuff. You can play something really crazy, really big with her. Always very nice. She does have the typical on deletion effect, just like all the other ancient hybrid related stuff, which lets you play a level 4 or lower Digimon card with hybrid and its traits from your hand for free. So having that floating capability is definitely always nice. And 2 of is really the way to go with her. For our level 7 sort of main boss Digimon of the deck, 3 copies of Aegisdramon. When Digivolving, letting you play a level 3 Digimon card or 1 Digimon card with Seadramon in its name or aquatic in its traits, and any of those aqua related traits or fish related traits from one of your blue Digimon's Digivolution sources without paying the memory cost. Again, this can just help you play anything, which is always fantastic. And opponent's turn once per turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon card, you get to activate this Digimon's when Digivolving effects once again, so they can play more things. And by being able to play more things, you have more on-play effects to synergize with them, and that's how you would want to be disrupting your opponent's plays, usually with this guy right here as your main boss Digimon of the deck. And yeah, just really, really cool. I'll showcase you guys in the combos once again later how it all works when you put everything together, but that's about it. That's it for all of our Digimon. Now let's talk about our Tamers. The only Tamer we play are the 3 copies of Davis, Memory Tamer, helping us search, and that's really all he is there for. And you definitely want to be starting your turns with 3 memory in most cases, just so that you can pull off those combos as much as you can. That's it for Tamers. Talk about options, just more memory, more searching. Once again, blue memory boost, really, really fantastic general blue staple that we have right here. Just standard things to always include for sure in the deck. And then we got some newer cards. A newer option card right here, which is Great Maelstrom from BT12, Ancientmermaimon's signature move. It is a 9-cost option. However, when you would use this option card from your hand by placing one of your blue Digimon as the bottom Digivolution card of one of your other blue Digimon, you get to reduce the cost by 3. So great synergy with this deck, because you always want to be adding more sources again and again with effects, potentially set up with things I can be playing through effects as well. And then the 6-cost option card basically returns one of your opponent's Digimon to bottom deck it. Really, really nice. And then with its security effect, it is just basically activating its main effect right off the bat. You don't really get to slide something underneath with that first part, because the main effect is just simply bottom decking your opponent's Digimon, and bottom decking is always a really, really good source of removal, which I think for the game. Last but not least, to round off for the options, of course, the 1 Ice Wall. Really, really typical standard blue staple that you always want to be including for sure, and that's really it. And that rounds up for the 50-card main deck. Alright, that's it for all the cards I want to show you guys. I don't really have any additional extra cards that I have been considering to be playing, but if you guys have any other cool suggestions and ideas of different cards that we can be adding into this deck, definitely let us know in the comments down below and share it with everyone else. So anyways, early stages of the game, of course, the cards that you want to be hard playing would be these ones. Ideally, blue memory boost. You want to have your Davis, set it up as soon as possible, because 3 memory, it really helps you excel your plays. Your Dracomon is great to help you search for your Dramons, mainly being your Seadramons related names, and mainly your Aegisdramon. So to help you get your top end is really, really crucial. Now, as you're building your stack, you can Digivolve into any level 3, really, because eventually you're going to be playing them out. Ideally, it's going to be the ones that you can play out via an effect, which probably wouldn't be Madoki Betamon, because you just want to slap that down during the specific situations that can really hard counter your opponents. So Digivolving into any of your Penguinmon, Gomamon, Dracomon, or even your Crabmon is always going to be what you're trying to go for, because eventually you're going to be playing them via an effect right here. Gomamon is usually the one I like to, because it just gives you that instant draw power, instant value to help you find pieces and continue building your stack. It's great. Now, when you move into your level 4s, ideally, of course, it's going to be your Aegisdramon, otherwise it's your Lanamon. You usually don't really want to Digivolve into Calamaramon, unless if you really have like the memory to sort of manipulate and whatnot, because it does cost 3. And it's always really nice, as you can, if you Digivolve into Lanamon, you can Digivolve for 1, with Calamaramon on top, and sort of build like your stack that way and sort of play it around up like that too. But otherwise, Aegisdramon is usually the one that you want to go into. Now, moving into next is that when you want to be promoting your Digimon out. So usually you start your turn at 3 essentially, and then you're going to be pushing it out. So then when you get into your level 5s, this is when you can play your Mega Seadramon. Mega Seadramon is going to cost 3, and immediately with Mega Seadramon, you can just attack with it. Usually that's what you want to go for, because it lets you play a level 3. And by being able to play the level 3, you get to play your Gomamon right here, and you get to draw 2 cards. So depending on what you have, if you had Crabmon, you get to like get jamming. If you have Penguinmon, you can play something underneath to draw another card as well. And really, really cool, fantastic tools that you can be playing. Otherwise, if you had the Dracomon, you get to play Dracomon via the effect, and all of these guys get their on-play effects. So really, depending on what you have in the situation, this is what you really want to go for. Sometimes you might argue that Crabmon is better, and you might want to bump that number up just because it gives you jamming, and swinging with the Mega Seadramon like that can be risky, so you definitely do want that jamming sometimes, because Bukamon's effect now, Inheritable, comes in. Because you play something, you get to gain a memory. So that's really how you want to go into. Otherwise, if you play Warrior Seadramon, is also really great, because if you Digivolve it, it lets you play something from underneath it as well. That's level 3, and exact same thing will happen, but this time you just pay 1 more extra memory, and then after gaining the memory with Bukamon, you'll be sitting at 3 with this guy, particularly right here. So really depends. Any of the level 5s are just really fantastic and really great, and as you're getting into your level 6s, it's always going to be a Plesiomon. It doesn't really matter anything else. You don't want to be Digivolving into your Metal Seadramon ever. Otherwise, your other secondary option will be going into Ancientmermaimon right here. Now, with Plesiomon, ideally, it lets you get that when Digivolving effect, letting you play a level 3 or a level 4. This time, you might not have an extra level 3, but if you played a Crabmon or a Penguinmon, you might have a level 3 sitting underneath one of these sources, then go for it. But otherwise, you get to play your Aegisdramon, which is going to be really good. Because now what you can do next is you can swing with Plesiomon, and because you played something, you might have your Seadramon underneath, so you can gain a memory right here. Aegisdramon is going to give a blocker as well. You get to unsuspend one of your Digimon when it's on play and whatnot, which is really cool. And yeah, that basically is mostly it. And then eventually you're going to top it off with your Aegisdramon right here by paying a bit more memory for 4, whatever it is, and it lets you play anything as well. So always make sure when you're trying to, play stuff and add stuff in, always making sure you're adding stuff in via these effects when you hard play them, so then you can play stuff with Aegisdramon. And every time when you're playing something, keep in mind you have Seadramon or Bukamon, and these gains you a memory back. And then with Plesiomon, you can also bounce stuff, so keep in mind these effects all are once per turn, but it's always really nice. So if you haven't triggered them yet, make sure to remember to trigger these. And that's really about it with Aegisdramon. Eventually, with Plesiomon effect, you might want to be even placing a Metal Seadramon underneath, and this is the best part, because when you do Digivolve in Aegisdramon, you can play your Metal Seadramon right here, and you immediately have a level 6 body, which is really good and pretty strong, bouncing 2 bodies that your opponent has as level 4 or lower back to their hand, and then you can continue with even more plays. And then it's almost like a loop sometimes, because it's pretty cool, because then you can go into another Aegisdramon and then immediately spit out another Metal Seadramon and bounce things like that, and it's just super cool, super fun. And during your opponent's turn, if they ever play a card, you get to use it when Digivolving effect. Not a card specifically, but if they play a Digimon, you get to use this when Digivolving effect again to play something, and then you can place, like, let's just say you might now have a Penguinmon underneath this time. You play the Penguinmon out, and then because with Seadramon's effect, it is all turns, you can disrupt your opponent to gain a memory back, not for Bukamon instead. And then for Plesiomon as well, you have to further disrupt their plays by bouncing something that they have on the board. So really, really funky, cool stuff that you can go super wide with this deck, and then all you're trying to do once you're super wide, just chip away with your opponent's security bit by bit with these guys, and then you just win the game that way, just like that, which is always super fun and super cool. And of course, that's the reason why we play some of the hybrids, because whenever you want to go into hybrid, go into Lanamon right here to swing for game as well. And then you go into Ancientmermaimon, which helps you as well, playing more things. And yeah, just always really, really nice with this overall combo here. And that's basically wrapping it up how you want to be playing this deck particularly. And that's the whole approach, which is always super fun when you go for super big wide plays just like this. That will wrap up for the deck profile for today. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. We got lots more Digimon videos and content coming with BT12 deck profiles, so be sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. If you guys just can't wait, I want to see early deck lists and first drafts made by me, then definitely join the Avault Club right now as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video, and this is Avault signing out.